24 years old facing the death penalty.
Yeah.
How do you come to grips with that?
He's the ultimate OG bad guy and has starred in everything from Machete to Spy Kids and Super Bowl ads.
When you're hungry, better.
Every teacher I've ever had has said poor attendance, blah, 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 but has great potential. Everybody said great potential. And the grips were, I remember asking God to let me die with dignity, but good Lord fooled me and gave me the rest of my life.
Ladies and gentlemen, this Impact Award for Outstanding Performance in a Motion Picture goes to the hero or anti-hero in Machete, Danny Trejo.
My mom and dad had bought a house in Pacoima, so I grew up in Pacoima from the age of 13.
At 14, your uncle brought you along to an armed robbery.
Yeah, it was exciting, really. The first one I did was the Far East Market. Me and a guy named Mike Cerno. I got hooked to money before I was hooked to anything else. You know, knowing, I know it sounds awful, and I know, but the power of money, you know, and it was like, damn, that's the way I grew up. I grew up with the guys I wanted to be that guy with the dough. The only guy in our neighborhood that had any money was the dope dealer, the armed robber. You know, the laborer, you know, he'd come home all sweaty and dirty. Where were the Jameses in San Fernando? I was loaded, and two sailors, they got shitty with the girl I was with. And so I started fighting, and a fight to me is to win. So I grabbed a bottle and I stabbed them. And they were hurt, and I left, just covered in blood, you know. Then the cops came and picked me up, and then we went back to jail, you know. I went to juvenile hall so many times, I thought Mexicans were supposed to go. It's like you go there, it's all you saw was Mexicans, African Americans, you know, and some white guys from that were basically raised by Mexicans, you know. So my uncle started me boxing when I was about 8 years old. He was fighting Golden Gloves, and I was his punching bag. So I either had to learn how to fight or get my brains beat. So I got really, really good. So when I would get into prison, immediately they would set me up with a fight.
Did you ever sit in prison and go, shit, I'm a fucking champion? If my life had gone a little differently, you probably could have been a heavyweight champion of the world or something.
Howard, let me tell you something. My life ambition was to be welterweight champion of San Quentin. One of the things that prison taught me now, you know, is like, I would rather shoot for the moon and miss than aim for the gutter and make it.
24 years old facing the death penalty.
Yeah.
How do you come to grips with that?
The grips were, I remember asking God to let me die with dignity. Just don't let me pee my pants. Don't let me shit myself. Please don't let me cry and scream. Just let me go and just let me like smile. Every teacher I've ever had has said, you know, poor attendance, blah, 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 but has great potential. Everybody said great potential. Even parole officers, you know, can do better. And when you're there and you're saying all that shit doesn't matter. And I remember thinking, this is what my life has come to. And I remember saying, if you let me die with dignity, I will say your name every day, and I will do whatever I can for my fellow man. I said that, I thought it was gonna be a couple of years. You know what I mean? Then they're gonna top me. But good Lord fooled me and gave me the rest of my life. And I know that my grandfather, Donicio Trejo, right now is saying, he finally made it. So, God bless you. Thank you very, very much. Thank you.
So after jail, you wound up becoming a drug counselor.
I'm still a drug counselor.
Oh, you're still a drug counselor?
I still work for Western Pacific MedCorp, and we detox heroin addicts. That's what we do. We hang out with people that want to stay clean. I'm working with this one kid, and he calls me up and said, hey, Danny, there's a lot of blow down here on my set. 1985. Cocaine was crazy, okay? Cocaine was everywhere. I said, yeah, come on over. He's like, I can't. I got this job. I go down to this job. His job was a movie set of a movie called Runaway Train. John Voight and Eric Roberts. I walked onto that movie set. That was the cutest thing I'd ever seen in my life. Because all these guys were dressed like convicts, right? But they're all walking around going, hey, fucker, watch out, puto, hey. And prison is the most polite place you'll ever be. Because if I'm a murderer and you're a murderer, you're the last guy I want to offend. You're like,
I get it.
Excuse me, sorry, bro. You know,
Yeah.
This guy looks at me and says, hey, do you want to be in this movie? And I said, what I gotta do? Can you act like a convict?
Usted es el famoso criminal, amigo.
Sí, me dicen el Juanillo 23.
And then this other guy comes across the set and says, hey, you're Danny Trejo. I go, yeah. He says, I'm Eddie Bunker. I saw you win the lightweight and the welterweight title up in San Quentin. I go, I know you, and I was in prison with this guy. And me and Eddie, we started talking. He says, hey, are you still boxing? I go, shh, no, man, I don't get hit in the face no more. I'm 41 years old.
Yeah.
He says, we need somebody to train one of the actors how to box. So I said, what's it pay? And he says, $320 a day. I said, Eddie, for $320 a day, give him a stick, homie. I've been beat up for free. I started training an actor named Eric Roberts how to box for the movie Runaway Train. And Eric respected me. Eddie had told him, you know, he's a lightweight, welterweight champion of Quentin. So Eric respected me quite a bit and would do whatever I told him to do. And Andrei Kozlowski, the director, had a hard time communicating with Eric. He saw that he would do whatever I told him to do. I'll never forget, he came over and Andrei, real soft-spoken, Danny, you be in movie and you fight Eric in movie and you be my friend. From there, the first 5 years of my career, I played inmate number one, bad guy, tattooed dude. You know, I never had a name. First name I got was Art Sanella in Death Wish 4. I played an Italian.
Hey, not bad. Hey, don't I know you from someplace?
I don't think so.
Yeah. I know your face. Did you ever live in San Francisco?
And then when I did Machete, Robert De Niro came on the set. You know, he was a part of Machete. He played the senator. And I remember bumping into him, and I went, wow, he was doing this for me, right? And he goes, you, number one.
Danny Trejo is one of Hollywood's most recognizable bad guys, playing roles in movies and TV like Machete, Breaking Bad, From Dusk Till Dawn, and Desperado.
But Danny Trejo is a real-life hero to a lot of people.
You know, I don't know what to say. I really want to thank everybody. God bless you. Thank you so, so much.